Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Vedant. Good morning, Akshay. Good morning, Aditya. Good morning, Elroy. Good morning, Aditya. Good morning, Aditya. Good morning, Chandrasekhar. Yes, Akshay. Today I will. Good morning, Tanishq. Today I will make its PDF and send it to Rishikesh. Okay, let's recap. So, what we have considered is Royal Indian Navy's mutiny. So, on 18th of February 1946, Bombay ratings of HMS Talwar stuck work due to racial discrimination, unpalatable food, and abuse after the arrest. The same kind of mutiny had been happened on HMS Hindustan in Karachi on 19th of February 1946. So some of the soldiers have arrested in this, and these mutinies continued. So Patel and Jinnah jointly persuaded the ratings to surrender on 23rd February 1946. But because of this, or as a result of this, the Britishers seriously realized that now this kind of awakening among the armed forces as well as in the among the common man is not tolerable anymore, right? Or it could not hold on India anymore. And therefore, there had been the cabinet mission during March and June 1946. So British Prime Minister Lord Attlee made a declaration on 15th of March 1946 that the British cabinet mission would visit India to make recommendations regarding constitutional reforms to be introduced. So cabinet mission included Lord Patrick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps, and A.V. Alexander. So this trio visited the India and met the representatives of different political parties. But satisfactory solution could not found by this mission's meeting. And therefore, mission envisaged the establishment of the Constituent Assembly to frame the constitution as well as an interim government. And this establishment or this provision was accepted by Muslim League, but they have retained their right of striving for a separate Muslim state. And it was also accepted, rather partially accepted by the Congress. Right? So this is what you can consider about the cabinet mission. Now, after this, that is in the month of August, exactly on 16th of August, 1946, the success of Congress in voting for the Constituent Assembly provoked Muslim League, and it started a direct action campaign. So this direct action campaign launched by Muslim League resulted in a widespread communal riots in the country. And then we can come across the interim government. So on 2nd September 1946, the interim government was formed. So Congress members led by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru joined the government, but Muslim League didn't join, rather it withdrew its earlier acceptance of the cabinet mission plan. And then obviously now actual footprints of independence you can see here. And that is nothing but the formation of Constituent Assembly. Formation of Constituent Assembly. So on 9th of December 1946, there had been the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly. And in this, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. But again, the Muslim League didn't join the Constituent Assembly. Right. This is what you can consider about the formation of Constituent Assembly. Now there had been the next announcement, and that is nothing but the Attlee's announcement. Attlee's announcement. So what Attlee had announced. So on 20th of February 1947, British Prime Minister Lord Attlee announced that the British would withdraw from India by June 30, 1948, and the Lord Mountbatten would replace the vowel. Right? So the earlier Viceroy. Fine. This is what the Attlee's announcement was there. Then later on, now most of you must be knowing the Mountbatten Plan. So in March 1947, right, Lord Mountbatten replaced Lord Wavell, and he announced his plan on 3rd June 1947. So his earlier plan Balkan was abandoned for 3rd June. So it offered a key to the political and constitutional deadlock, which was created by the refusal of Muslim League to join the Constituent Assembly. Right. So very first thing what Mountbatten had done, right? So whatever the plan he had offered, right? So during that plan or through that plan, there had been or it offered the key to the political and constitutional deadlock, right? Which was how this deadlock was created. This deadlock was created by withdrawing from cabinet mission by Muslim League, right? So it was created by the refusal of Muslim League to join the Constituent Assembly. Now, Mountbatten's formula was to divide India, but retain maximum unity, right? And really, this was a very good point, or through this approach, you can consider Mountbatten was of supporting to India, right? So his vision was to unite as much as maximum part of India, and where he couldn't unite, only that part should get partition. Right? So Mountbatten's formula was to divide India, but retaining maximum unity. And then the country would be partitioned, but the Punjab and Bengal would also get partition, so that the limited Pakistan that emerged would meet both the Congress and League's position to some extent. So whatever Congress was demanding and Muslim League was demanding, so both these things would get followed. Right? If along with the India, if the Punjab and Bengal would get partition, right? So this plan, or you can call the Mountbatten's formula, right? Ultimately, it had worked later on. So the Muslim would be taken into account to make Pakistan as small as possible, right? As small as possible. So Congress have also supported this one, right? That the maximum part of India must get unite, and very small part, if it is partition as Pakistan, then there is no hesitation from Congress. And one more thing he had done, that is nothing but the speedy transfer of political powers in the form of dominion status to newly formed dominions of India and Pakistan. Right. So that was a great success you can consider from the point of view of Mountbatten. And its acceptance by the Congress and Muslim League resulted in the birth of Pakistan. So what Mountbatten had done, Mountbatten was trying to unite as much as maximum India. Right. He was sure to partition India into Pakistan and the dominion status or dominions of India. But as much as small Pakistan and as much as large united India. So this was the plan of Mountbatten, and fortunately at that time, most of the leaders from both Indian National Congress as well as Muslim League accepted these things. And therefore, he had gone ahead for the partition. Apart from this formula, he had also put one more important point, and that is the detailing the principles. So on which principles it will be partitioned. So very first thing among these principles he had carried out was nothing but the speedy transfer of the political powers. Right. Once if these two countries are going to form, then their political powers must be given as early as possible to these two separate states or the countries. Right. And later on, you can now consider the India's independence. Right. But that had been through the act that is called Indian Independence Act. Right. So prior to that, we will first consider some of the highlights of the Attlee's announcement and the Mountbatten Plan. Right. So Attlee announced on February 20, 1947. Right. British Prime Minister Attlee announced that the British would withdraw from India. And he has also provided a deadline, right? India, when by June 30, 1948, right? So withdraw from India by June 1948, right? And one more thing, that now Lord Mountbatten would replace vowel. Right. Mountbatten would replace vowel. And accordingly now, Mountbatten, we can consider Mountbatten's era. Right. So Mountbatten Plan. And that is, you can consider from 3rd June 47. Right, on 3rd June 47. So as decided, now Lord Mountbatten replaced Lord Wavell Mountbatten replaced Lord Wavell so he announced his plan on 3rd June 8. So through the plan, he offered a so how this deadlock created? Created by the refusal of Muslim leagues, right, to join the Constituent Assembly. To join Constituent Assembly, right, to join Constituent Assembly. If anybody wants, you can.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Yes.
third point है का? Through the plan of order, third point है का?
हाँ, you can consider it like that. किंवा नाही केलं तरी चालेल काही, पण ठीक आहे, थर्ड करता येईल. Done? Just hold on. Okay, fine. So let's go to the next page. So the deadlock was created by the refusal of Muslim League to participate or to join the Constituent Assembly, right, which was formed to frame the Constitution of India. So Mountbatten's plan was to divide Mountbatten's plan was to divide India, but retain maximum unity. Retain maximum unity. Right. So Mountbatten's plan was to divide India but retain maximum unity. So obviously the country would get partition. Therefore, Punjab and Bengal will also get partition. Right. So that now here one point you need to understand. That is nothing but so country would partition. So Punjab and Bengal, right, will also partition. So the limited Pakistan would emerge. Right. So limited Pakistan would emerge. So why this limited? Right. So this is a kind of understanding, right? So these emergence of this limited Pakistan would meet both the Congress and Muslim League's positions to some extent, right? So emerge, and this would meet the Congress and Muslim League's positions to some extent. Whatever Congress wanted to do and whatever Muslim League wanted to take. So to certain extent, both these get fulfilled by this kind of and now the Muslim League's position on Pakistan was considered in that it would be created, but the position of Congress on unity would be taken into account to make Pakistan as small as possible. Right. But you know what Jinnah had done? So Jinnah had personally gone to different Raja Maharajas and he urged them that they should participate or they should join Pakistan. Right. Basically, he don't wanted to take them, but he wanted to unstable the unity of India. Fine. So, in this case, Muslim League. Right. So, in this Muslim League's position, but see, this is the hub statement. You can consider in this particular point that what that was, that position. So their position is that it would be created. Congress position. Right. On unity would be taken into account. Taken into account. Right. What kind of position of Congress? Right. That to make Pakistan as small as possible. As small as possible. Right. So what was the position of Congress? Now Congress accepted that, okay, fine, two nation theory would be accepted, but maximum India would be united and a very small Pakistan would be created. Right. And this is what the Mountbatten's plan, or you can consider the heart of the Mountbatten's plan. Right. This is now what about the partition? But Mountbatten was not stick only to the partition, but he thought that both the countries should get stabilized. Right. So among them, even one country is still struggling to stabilize, even after 60, 70 years. So you can consider his another point of view, and that is nothing but he detailed, right? He laid down detailed principles for what? For the partition of the country. For partition of the country. As well as, and this is most important, speedy transfer of political powers. Right. Political powers to the newly formed these two states, or you can call the countries. Right. So this is what you can consider one of the most important points after or apart from the partition. Right. And after this, so it's acceptance. It was accepted. Right. No doubt it was not that much easily accepted, but later on it has to be accepted from the leaders of both parties. Right. So it's acceptance by Congress, and the Muslim League resulted in the birth of Pakistan. In the birth of Pakistan. Right. resulted in the birth of Pakistan. So this is what you can consider about the Mountbatten's plan. And now you can come across the Indian Independence Act